chamber to the people. Let the voices ring. Laws are made. Debates take the wing.
I know we are going to be reposed with responsibilities.
Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Watch the Senate and the House of Representatives, where decisions flow. The Parliament, the place to know. The Parliament, see power at play. The Parliament, your window into democracy at work, only on Global Television. Parliamentary program, The Parliament, which deliberates on legislative policies. Although the National Assembly is on its annual recess and has suspended plenary sittings, other legislative activities at the committee and oversight are still skeletally ongoing. Tonight, we'll bring you up to speed on the activities in both chambers, plus one-on-one with lawmakers on national discourse. Welcome. I am Aniti Patrick. Following the widespread speculation online that President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, was critically ill and hospitalized in London, he returned to Nigeria, putting to rest the rumors circulating on social media about his health. Let's take a listen.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, returned to Nigeria following a widespread speculation online that he was critically ill and hospitalized in London. Speaking to journalists at the airport, the President of the Senate dismissed the reports, describing them as baseless and a product of misinformation.
There were lots and lots of rumors. Where is the Senate President? so I said, oh, I thought people didn't love me. so I had thousands of calls from everywhere. And I kept saying, I'm okay, I'm okay. And they said, are you sure? Are you sure? One particular emir, I won't mention his name, His Royal Majesty. He said, okay, if you're okay, put it on video. No video. He said, put it on video. Let me see your face. So I did, and we started laughing. He said, okay, I'm satisfied.
Before his London vacation, Akpabio had attended the 6th World Conference of Speakers of Parliament in Geneva, Switzerland, where he said Nigeria played a significant role in promoting democratic governance and strengthening collaboration among government institutions.
So the presence of Nigeria was very well felt. And I must say it wasn't a normal international parliamentary union meeting. This was something that happens once every 5 years. This was a world meeting of heads of parliaments and speakers all over the world. So I would say the world was there. And every country was given the opportunity to say one or two things. Myself and the Speaker, we did our best.
The President of the Senate further assured Nigerians of renewed legislative drive when the Senate reconvenes from its recess.
Also, the Senator representing Nasarawa West Senatorial District, Aliyu Wadada, has advised Nigerians to rally around President Bola Tinubu for him to achieve his national reform agenda. Senator Wadada gave the advice while reacting to his recent coronation as Serikin Dangi of Lafia in Abuja. Thompson Gimba has the details.
Senator Aliyu Wadada eulogized President Bola Tinubu for the message of felicitation personally sent to him on the occasion of his coronation as Serikin Dangi Lafia. The ceremony, which took place early this month, the newly to-born Serikin Dangi Lafia, Senator Aliyu Wadada described President Bola Tinubu as a national leader and holds no regrets to identify himself with his policies. He cited tax reform as one critical example Nigerians are beginning to benefit, despite public outcry by some critics against the reform. He said, as member of the opposition party SDP, speaking well about APC-led administration can only point out to the fact that how nationalistic Bola Tinubu is. The Sirkin Dengi Lafia disclosed that he was already on his way out from SDP to joining APC and consider his decision as justifiable.
Well, I'm here to pay my usual respect to the President and to thank and appreciate him for the support and the public national felicitation that he gave on me or to me about my turbaning as the Magajin Dengi of Lafia, which took place on the 2nd of August 2025. Somebody asked me, Wadada, you are SDP and you are always here. I said, yes, this is the home of Nigerians, one. And then politically, I was APC before SDP, and I was APC before APC was eventually formed. And he said, how? I said, I was a national officer of PDP2. I was the National Financial Secretary of PDP2. And nobody can deny the fact that PDP2 was one of the ingredients that were put in the pot to cook APC. And so I have been APC even before joining APC. And my departure from APC to SDP at the time wasn't that APC had done anything wrong to me. It was just circumstantial. And I wouldn't want to bore anybody talking about the circumstances that led to my departure from APC, because it came, it gone, and it's now gone. And as a result of it, I went out there, seen, and done it. And that's why today I am in the Senate under the platform of SDP. But there is no hiding the fact that, and I had said this earlier sometime back, that SDP as a political party hasn't offended me. I am still proud of SDP, but the happenings now may not warrant my continuous stay in SDP. And so I am on my way. I could even say that I am APC, though I have not officially moved, but I am APC, and not because SDP has offended me, just like the same way I moved from APC to SDP. Dynamism of life makes it imperative for everything in life to be dynamic. ADC is membered by Nigerians that we respect. We have respect for, but look at them. Look at each and every one of them. Who stands to do anything better than what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration is doing? Tell me. I haven't seen any. Ask any of them. If you are given the chance to preside over Nigeria, that may come beyond 2027, maybe beyond 2013, after 2031. Because between now and 2031, anybody can say what he or she wishes to say. But the space is already taken, occupied by President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Who amongst them will have the courage, the impetus to tell Nigerians and the world that if I am given the opportunity to preside over Nigeria, I will return subsidy? Let that person tell us. And if he or she is given the opportunity to preside over Nigeria, what is he going to do different to the foreign exchange market than what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government is doing? If given the opportunity, talking about infrastructural development, what is he going to do different to convince Nigerians? Because it is beyond rhetorics. Electorates are very much well informed. And economically, what is the person going to do to really take Nigeria to the global front in all ramifications? Much better or even better than what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration is doing. We're talking democracy, freedom of expression. Anybody can go out there to say anything. But I have not seen. These are people I have respect for and I relate with. But the reality is, let them tell us what they have in their kitty. Tell us. Not just baseless criticisms and stuffs that will not take anybody. We are talking Nigeria. We're not talking sectional or regional politics. We are talking Nigeria. President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not president of Lagos. Neither is he president of the Southwest or Southeast or South-South or Northwest or Northeast or North Central. He's the president of Nigeria. And they are also aspiring to be presidents of Nigeria. So what is it are we talking about? I cite you an instance. When the tax reform bill was introduced to the National Assembly, and of course went viral in the public domain, there were all kinds of criticisms, allegations, misinformation about it is skewed to this part of this. At the end of the day, now that the tax reform bill is passed into law, who is saying anything? It has the law has provided succor for the less privileged. For whoever earns less than 800,000 per annum is completely exempted from personal income tax. And as it is, as the tax law is, Lagos is losing from what it used to take. And as a result of removal of subsidy, no state in Nigeria today takes less than 3 times what it used to take. So I think it is about time we start taking the subnationals to task. Let's hold ourselves accountable. You should be accountable for the kind of information as media people you send out there. I should be accountable for the representation I do. Each and every one of us should and must be held accountable for what we do. But the truth of the matter is, I am not sentimentally driven by what I'm saying. I'm not saying what I'm saying because I am President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is of APC extraction, and APC was my home, and I'm getting back home. Neither am I saying it because of my personal relationship with the president. That is the reality. If you are endorsed, then bring yourself to the front. Of course, it is obvious that whoever truly cares for Nigeria and the person understands that, look, one of the major things people resist is change. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has come with unprecedented changes. The pride of the nation, whether you like it or not, is the Federal Capital Territory. Everybody is seeing, witnessing the transformation going on the FCT. As a result of what? It is not only because Wike is a committed and responsive and responsible minister. There is, when you see a masquerade dancing in the daytime, there is somebody that is drumming for him. And the man is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president and the man.
Senator Aliyu Wadada is currently the chairman Senate Committee on Public Account, and is not very clear if he would ever remain as the chairman of the committee, as the position is always exclusively reserved for the opposition senators. Now, as a new member of the ruling party, only time can tell when Senate finally resumes from its long recess on September 23rd, if Senator Aliyu Wadada will continue to hold onto the chairmanship of public accounts or not.
Let's take a breather here, and on the flip side, we'll look at the Green Chamber's legislative proceeding. Also at the committee level, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, has called on governments at state and local governments to change the narrative in flood mitigation across the nation. Abbas made the call at the inauguration of the Ad Hoc Committee on Flood Management and Response in Abuja. Flooding has become a recurring and devastating challenge across many parts of Nigeria, as each year, lives are lost, properties destroyed, livelihoods disrupted, and the socio-economic fabric of entire communities severely affected. The Speaker, who was ably represented by the House Majority Leader, Professor Julius Irunvere, says this is no longer a seasonal inconvenience. It is a national emergency that demands urgent, coordinated, and strategic action.
This ritual we perform every year. It is time for it to stop. And I'm hoping that this committee will do that. Every government at the local and state level, they know the flood is coming. They know. And sometimes they are using it to fleece the federal government because the presidency gives them money. Ecological fund, there's flood coming, 33 billion. Not one thing is done.
The Minister of State for Humanitarian Affairs, Yusuf Sununu, commends the 10th House for its proactive approach to natural disasters. He laments over the flooding impact on the internally displaced persons and farmers. He added that the ministry is putting in measures to reduce the weight of vulnerable groups, with over 5 million Nigerians being given the compulsory cash to mitigate hardship meted on them.
More farmland are submerged and therefore leading to a lot of displacement and loss of those farmland. And in the end, after even the floods is gone, you find that areas of farms that normally you can cultivate is now becoming sandy field, thereby affecting also arable land that we can use to this. And I said on our own part as ministry, we are doing our effort to reduce the impact of such this into our food security.
The newly inaugurated chairman of the committee, Midala Balami, stressed the need for a comprehensive national framework, one that encompasses prevention, early warning systems, emergency response, community resilience, infrastructure development, and climate adaptation strategies.
The time for piecemeal approaches has passed and is long overdue. What we need now and what we are going to do is that we are going to have a kind of an urgent and multi-sectoral, multidisciplinary approach. This approach will include harnessing our potentials and our resources.
Stakeholders from the National Emergency Management, Ministry of Water Resources, Health, Fire Services, Hydrological Agency, and Meteorological Agency all pledged their support to the committee, saying it is the right step in the right direction owing to the loss of lives across the states due to flood. The House of Representatives has begun an investigation into the 1.06 trillion naira Community Action for Resilience and Economic Stimulus Program, better known as NG Cares. The probe follows concerns that the impact of the social intervention and palliatives is not being felt by vulnerable Nigerians.
The NG Cares program was designed to provide safety nets and palliatives to Nigerians through state government and federal capital territory, with funding support of $696 million, equivalent to over 1 trillion naira. However, the House Committee on NG Cares says there is a growing disconnect between the huge sums released and the realities on ground. Chairman of the committee, Abubakar Kusada, briefing journalists on the resolution of its sitting in Abuja, noted that despite the federal government meeting its funding obligations and providing operational guidelines, the target beneficiaries who are most vulnerable Nigerians are yet to feel the intended relief.
A total of $696 million or 1.06 trillion naira has been released as social intervention safety net and palliatives to Nigerians in 36 states and the FCT through the various delivery platforms. It is therefore most surprising that the effect of these palliatives is not being felt by the target vulnerable groups in Nigeria after government has committed so much resources to this purpose through the states.
The committee says it will examine whether the funds were misappropriated, diverted, or poorly utilized, and whether contracts awarded under the program followed due process. The chairman says the probe will also verify claims on social transfers, agricultural support, infrastructural projects, and market development initiatives, warning that any state fund to have diverted or mismanaged funds will be exposed.
There is still a loud cry of government neglect of the plight of Nigerians enduring the brunt of economic reforms. The House Committee on NGKs, in exercise of its powers under Section 88 and 89 of the Constitution, has resolved to commence immediate and full investigation of the NGKs program so as to unravel the disconnect and ascertain the propriety of expenditure of the huge sums provided by the government for the administration of social welfare.
The NG Cares program was introduced to cushion the effects of economic reforms and improve livelihoods. The House says this investigation will ensure accountability, value for the money, and justice for the most vulnerable Nigerians.
More so, the House of Representatives has also begun deliberations on the controversial bill proposing to move the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau (NSIB) from the Ministry of Aviation to the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. While the proposal aims to enhance independence and coordination across the transport sector, it has sparked sharp division among stakeholders.
At a public hearing in Abuja, the atmosphere was tense as aviation stakeholders clashed over a bill seeking to reposition the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau under the presidency.
While it may have the political support, but it will be lacking in technical activities. This indeed may dilute, the word is may dilute its domain-specific responsiveness. It will impede knowledge sharing and weaken the functional alignment with sector-specific agencies.
However, not everybody agreed. Representatives from the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and the Ministry of Special Duties backed the move, saying it would strengthen institutional independence and ensure broader oversight.
The Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation is a neutral, coordinating body, not involved in sector-specific operations. Domiciling NSIB under OSGF safeguards its objectivity, free from potential conflict of interest.
Sponsor of the bill, Honorable Ishaq Akinlade, argued that the current structure under the Aviation Ministry hinders the Bureau's effectiveness, citing institutional bottlenecks and overlapping mandates with agencies like the Federal Road Safety Corps and the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency.
This limitation undermines the Bureau's ability to fulfill its mandate due to institutional bottlenecks, lack of independence, and fragmented interagency coordinations across Nigeria's transport regulatory ecosystem.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, represented by Honorable Kwamoti Lowry, welcomed the debate, describing the amendment as a step towards aligning Nigeria with international transport safety standards.
We also had a chat with another first-time lawmaker representing Baliko Obudu, Bekwa Federal Constituency in Cross River State, Peter Ankpa. Here's what he had to say about the relationship between the legislature and the executive.
Education is a bedrock to everything. We come from a society where our parents mostly are farmers. They struggle to send us to school. And as a child, once you have education, you can access every opportunity in life. If we can provide a conducive learning environment, first of all, and support our children to go to school, no matter how hard the times are, education is what we should give priority to. That is the truth. The opportunities we never had growing up, our younger ones, our children should have those opportunities. If you see the president, even the governor, is voting so much to education because that is the bedrock for everybody, for a bedrock, for everything to become in life. So if you are not educated, you cannot go to church and be praying, and you not go to school, you become educated. It's not possible. So we need to give priority to education. When you go to school, where you see our children learning under harsh conditions, dilapidated buildings, it doesn't speak good of us. The world is going digital. We should encourage our children to, go into that. So education to me is key. In as much as we have done things in other areas, but education should be given priority. We are one Nigeria, one people. What matters is the interest of Nigeria. If there's no Nigeria today, none of us will be in existence. And then what matters is our various local government, states, federal constituency, and all that. So have you checked other assemblies and this assembly, the number of bills, motions, things that have been passed into law, signed by the president? In this assembly alone, we come from the South-South. There's a South-South Development Commission. There's a South-East Development Commission. There's a North-West, North-East, all the Development Commission or something. Give him the fact. Show me, check the 9th Assembly, the 8th Assembly, the 7th Assembly. Compare notes to realize that times have changed. Times have changed. Things, for instance, even if you want to go into the market now to buy it, the amount of money used to buy cement in those days is not the same now. Now, we're in an internet world. 5, 6, 10 years ago, it was not like this, So let us believe that things have evolved over time and try to live with the reality.
And that's the much we can take this week on the Parliament on Global Television, channel 365 on DSTV and 276 on Star Times. To stay connected, kindly follow us on all our social media platforms as displayed on the screen at Global TV NG. Thank you to my production team. Until next time, I am Aniti Patrick. Bye for now.